It's good to see you guys. Excited about this week. A lot of respect for this opponent. 2 games in a row, you just see their confidence and their playmakers emerge, and it should be a good game. We got 2 teams that are on the rise and peaking at the right time. Take any questions you guys got.
Dave Sawyer's played well, all year. I know the quarterback a lot of times will take a lot of responsibility on himself. How good has it been for him to have, a couple wins in a row, including a close game on Saturday?
His confidence has grown, and his ability to feel more comfortable with more skilled players has grown. I think his always looking to Hal, and all of it has been there for a while. But I think looking at Trigg, looking at Ashton, those things have really emerged these last couple of weeks, and has led to the ball getting spit in various ways. And I think when it is the way it is right now, I think everyone feels they got a piece and a part of scoring points and winning games, and so it's a more positive and probably better environment moving forward.
Did you guys know he had the running that he does?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the thing. I think we've talked about this before, and it's what we're seeing with Sawyer in particular, but then there's various other guys too, and some. I think a lot of the issues that we're working through, they have not yet been take it from here to there. Take it from the practice fields to the stadium, but you would see with Sawyer just all this poise. We got everybody covered in a spring something, and then he breaks loose and he goes 60, and no one can catch him, and he outruns everybody. And then, then he has all this all of this touch on a throw, and it's a back shoulder throw, and it's like, how do you defend that? And all these things, and then you get to other environments where maybe the confidence is shaken and things just aren't happening. And so to see someone kind of step through that and get on the other side of that and just be their best version and to grow, and then to bring other people along with you and being that best version is what we're seeing with him. It's pretty cool.
You talked last week a little bit about how you weren't too happy how you finished against Texas Tech defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Are you more happy now that you've had some time to review the Oklahoma State game, how your defense kind of bowed up when it mattered most against Oklahoma State?
There's some positives. You'd like to be able to play 4 quarters, and I don't believe we've done that. But there's some positive things. I thought front 7-wise was one of probably our better games, and then I thought secondary-wise there's a glimpse there. There's kind of a sneak peek here, and a kind of a maybe a real quick, glimpse there. So there's got to be more than that, And so, especially going into this next game, just as much skill as we're going to see. I think these 3 in a row that we played are all similar in some ways. I think TCU probably has the most skill of all of them, and the matchups and everything we're going to have to be able to execute better, and we're going to have to do simple better in a fast-paced environment where they're going to try to embarrass us. And so I think we have to play much better than what we did on Saturday.
You kind of mentioned the secondary there. Caden Jenkins specifically.
Mm-hmm.
How is he better or different this year than he was last year as a freshman? How has he improved?
He's letting plays come to him. I think in the past he would make plays, and he still does now, but he would create more negative stuff and trying to search and find and make a thing, then kind of play his job and do his role, and then capitalize when the plays come to him. And so there's been a maturity on his part of it, and the ball's in the air, and he's vying for it. Everyone feels real confident about how that's going to go, and I think that's continued to be the case. And he's the leader for us in the back end, and we're going to look for him to have a big game Saturday.
Dave, is Dawson maybe faster than we think? I mean, he seems to make moves and get away from guys, run away from guys.
Yeah, last year there was this just an enormous struggle in just so many things, and one of them was making guys miss. And we did this study halfway through the year of the season last year, And the guy that was making the most guys miss was Dawson Pendergrass. And, I had to show my work on that because no one believed me, when I had that. And he just has a knack. There's the run down the sideline where he sticks his foot in the ground and comes back. There's a patience about him. His running style and his speed is all very much like a changeup. If you're a baseball pitcher, there's just a little bit off. It's a little different, and people have a hard time adjusting to it. So good for us.
You've been doing that running back by committee all year, but how hard is it to delegate the touches when all three guys had key moments throughout the game?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a positive thing. I think, to have that type of competition allows you to play the hot hand, and it forces guys to, they've got to be at their best because everybody wants to play and everybody wants to do the thing. And so, that's been a benefit to us. I think that Coach Hall and Spav, they do a great job of making sure that everybody gets their touches and finding a way to spread it around. But definitely if someone's feeling it, we want to make sure that we're giving them the ball.
What are the statuses of Snacks, Dom, and Ketron heading into this week?
Yeah, Snacks, I think, as of today, looks like he's on the road back. I'm not sure about Tron and not sure about Dom.
In the post-game press conference, it seemed like Sawyer and Dawson especially were just having a really good time. They were making some jokes and everything. Just how much easier does it make your job when just the mood around the building is so much better?
Yeah, one of the things that really showed up in this past game was just the personality of the guys and their team and the team and the fun that they had and everything. So that's cool to see. I think when there's a looseness that's kind of enveloped in a focus and an intentionality and everything else, you want to have that mix. And I'm hopeful that we're approaching that and going to get to that spot. I think this next game has a lot to do with that. But you want to be able to kind of enjoy the moment and be free and not try to be someone that you're not. And I feel like that's happening right now in our team.
What specific challenges does TCU present?
They have a system that's similar to ours offensively, where they spread it out, and every play is, there's not a bunch of plays on their menu that are, hey, let's try to get 4 or 5 yards here. They're trying to get 80 and 70 yards every play, and so there's always that attack that's let loose, and then I think they've got skill players that if the ball is checked down, or I was watching, there was a rep from last year's game. I was just watching before I came up here, and we're in a 3-deep creeper. The corner came on a pressure, and we dropped our outside linebacker, and the quarterback had the ball, and they're running cross, and there he goes, and we're matching it, and we're underneath, and the running back gets loose on Garmin, sticks his foot in the ground, comes back, and quarterback was able to go off 1, 2, and 3 and got the ball out, and it was 40-some yards or something like that. And so, usually if you get someone to hold the ball to their third read, can be positive things, but when you have athletes on the other side of it, it can be a negative thing, And so I think they make it hard all the way around. There's teams that have kind of been reduced to zero blitzing them. Because the traditional stuff doesn't work, and so I think that's teams have done that to us too, and so I think that's a compliment when people are just saying more or less, "F it," and just bringing everybody, and so I think you see that with people defending them. Then I think on defense they're aggressive. I think that I've got a lot of respect for Andy, and I've known him for a long time, and he's going to have those guys ready to play, and they're going to do their best to take away the weapons that we got. And so a lot of similarities on both sides.
How much excitement does a blackout bring and just kind of buying into that environment?
They're excited, yeah. Today we have those helmets on this morning and the walkthrough. Everyone's fired up about that. I think everybody knows. There wasn't a whole bunch of words being said, but you could just – there's a different feeling. There was a different feeling this morning, and I think a lot of it has to do with what you're talking about. And so we'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it. I'm excited about it too.
Dave, it may have taken you a while, but have you figured out your routine, juggling the different hats, where, being the defensive play caller, head coach? How do you have a regular routine that you keep?
One of the hardest things is to do the call sheet. And my son plays freshman ball for Midway, and plays on Thursdays, and so I'd love to watch him play, and it's fun to watch him play. But then you do that at the cost of preparing for a game. I just think there's just the time runs out, and I think the time that you do have, maybe it's a morning or something like that, that you're using that too. And so I just think there's at some point when all of it's done, there'll be a good time to rest. But there's just at the beginning of the week I feel rushed. At the end of the week I feel like I don't have enough time, and it's been like that basically the whole time. And so I don't think I've found a good solution yet.
Dave, to the fans, these TCU games seem to mean a lot. What would it mean for you to get your first win against TCU?
Yeah, definitely want to win, and we're going to do everything we can to try to be able to do that. I look at the coach and Sonny. I have a lot of respect for him. It goes all the way back to Tech, and just knowing, the man that he is, and the coach, and the type of offenses that he's had, and then you look at the team, and there's guys that we know pretty well that we'll be playing against, and a lot of respect for them. And so you look at, some of the struggles they had early on and how they have addressed it and come out and played, and especially this last game, and just coming back from all of that, it's going to be a challenge for us. And I think we're at the point right now with what our challenges that we've overcome, we're ready for it. And so it's going to be an attack mindset from us going into it.
Did those 2013 and 2014 Big 12 championship teams ever cross your radar when you were elsewhere? And how cool is it going to be to have some of those players back in town?
It's going to be really cool. I know a fair amount of them just through my experience here, but then I remember watching those games. I remember the excitement that goes, and I know there's a great love here in the community for those teams and those players, and so it'll be exciting to have them back.
When you're in the stands watching your son play,
Mm-hmm.
are you just a dad, a fan, or are you still like scheming and devising plays?
Yeah, my son, he wears like all the bands and all of like the towels, and he has all the dances and all of the like the signs and stuff. And so he gets that from his mom, I guess. I don't know where that comes from, but he does that pretty consistently, and it's fun to watch him play. He has a lot of fun, and they're a good little team, and it's good to. I do enjoy it because it is like kind of like taking a breath and stuff, and then it's just I'm really proud to watch him. I thought it'd be hard initially to watch him, but it's been fun.
Trevon said something after the game. Did you at some point maybe simplify things, just taking some stuff off their plate, maybe taking some of the calls off their plate, that kind of thing?
Yeah, in what's interesting, and in the past, however, the past years here, it's been kind of the origin's been the defense that have run before, but it's been various different guys doing it, and so it's all just it's the same but different. And so with me coming in this year, there's kind of a historical kind of understanding, but really not. And then you talk about the transfers that have come in, and they're all trying to pick it up in the speed reading contest to try to get it down and all that. And I just think I probably started out with too much, and I think the Iowa State game was a great example of that. And so to be able to have cleats in the ground, play, and they're going to know where you're at a little bit more, but you're going to be able to play it when they do find out where you're at. I think it's the best way to sum it up, and we've been doing that.
What did you think of Ashton's catch? Now that you've been able to see
He
it?
does that
And his
all the
dance
time.
as well.
Yeah, he does that all the time. All the time. Yeah, he did that to us a year ago, and it's just so cool that he's doing it to other people now. And yeah, I mean, there's, Trigg is a matchup problem. Ashton's a matchup problem. Monterey is, Hal is. All those things are vie good for the Bears.
You mentioned in the opening statement 2 teams trending in the right direction. Do you buy into kind of momentum talk? And if so, what does it take to carry momentum from week to week?
I don't know. I think the momentum throughout the week would be looked at as confidence. It'd be looked at as like, I believe I can do this. I know, or you know what? I know I can do it. And over there to my left, I believe in you. And over here to the right, I believe in you too. I think that I think that's real. And I think whereas maybe you thought you could, now you know that you can. And you've taken that belief and put it to other people. And that builds. I mean, just the way you walk into something has a lot to say with how you're gonna walk out of it. And I think walking in with more confidence is better for all involved. I can see that in their team too. So.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, thank you guys.